Good morning, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Joanne Taranto.
And I'm Tom Matthews. And this week we are going to talk about the funding that was just approved for the new Concord Middle School. Concord we're super excited. All of our elementary schools have been rebuilt or refurbished in like the last 10 years. We have a fairly new high school, and now the Peabody and Sanborn schools are going to be combined to have one modern school. And they're projecting right now that kids that are in first grade should be the first class in the new middle school. So Joanne, how excited are you about this prospect?
I'm excited because I have a first grader. So I'm hoping that the project goes on schedule and that she gets to enjoy the new school. But one of the things that I was most impressed about in this process, because this is the first time that I've been part of a community that was deciding on building a new school. And obviously the schools are important to me because that's why I moved to Concord.
Yeah.
But I also feel that it was really impressive how the community came together and how people were feeling free to express their opinions about how the building should be designed, about some of the features that it should have. And I think there were a lot of great minds working on the committee and keeping the public really informed about what was going on, because I felt pretty well informed through the process about when the appropriate time was for me to have input on the project or to vote for the project. So I think the communication that we saw was really, really well done by the committee who was handling it.
Yeah, I felt like I got a really close view because I've been chairing the Concord Board of Assessors for the last 3 years. And as I've learned about town governance, the Board of Assessors controls a fund called the Overlay Fund, which is where like kind of surplus cash goes. And back in, I think it was November, the Select Finance Committee and Select Board came to the Board of Assessors and said, would you be willing to release $1 million from Overlay to go into what's called the Debt Stabilization Fund to help keep taxes down for Concord property owners? What I said it's what they call the classification meeting for the Select Board, all this crazy town jargon. But I said what I brought to the board was that, this is a project that's going to benefit all the townspeople of Concord now, all the people moving into townspeople, and what we have to do is kind of row together and all work together to make this work. And we were able to appropriate those funds after just one meeting. And it was just a great way to kind of get involved and to just, lean in as, we're realtors, but we're also involved in our community, and being on town government for the past 5.5 years has given me an opportunity to learn that part and to give back to the school project. We're really excited for it to be kicking off. I think construction is going to start this year.
Yeah, and the design elements that have been incorporated into this building to make it, more sustainable, to make it environmentally friendly, to modernize the style of classroom and the amenities that will be available to the students. I think this is, it's an incredible home run for parents of young children. I can understand how people who aren't going to be able to use this school may not want the added cost, but I think that I speak for the people with young people and say that this is very exciting, and I'm willing to contribute financially as a taxpayer in town to support the project.
Yeah, I mean, and for those who don't have kids in school, I mean, I think from a perspective of being 18 years of selling residential real estate in the Boston area, the strength of a school district greatly impacts the value your house is worth. And so although it's a cost that you may not be enjoying, when the time comes to sell your home, you will get the benefit of having all of your school systems being top notch and in great condition, because it does attract the best talents and the best families.
Yeah, I think so. And I think the building is going to be wonderful. They have an established piece of property already to put it on.
Yeah.
So it's a great project, and we're really hoping that it, moves forward with, of course there are going to be delays, but we're hoping that it moves forward in a timely fashion that, our kids will be able to utilize it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, thank you again to everyone for watching Coffee with Tom and Joanne. I'm Tom Matthews.
And I'm Joanne Taranto. Cheers.